we doing? Okay, this week we're going to go to lesson 36. And real quickly, let's refresh A flat again, in case anybody got lost anywhere. We had A flat, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which gives us the third, and 3, which gives us the fifth. Okay. Now, in the key of A flat, we have A flat, the second chord moving upward through the progression of the whole key of A flat. We have B flat minor. As we learned, 2 and 3 are minored. The third of that is C minor. And then we have D flat, because between the third and the fourth, remember the C chord, between the third and the fourth is only a half step. It's always easier to go back and refer to things from the C chord to refresh yourself on what's going on here. So in other words, between the third of a chord and the fourth of the chord is only a half step. So we had A, B, we had C minor. Now we have D flat, which is the half step, see? Now we have E flat, which is a full step up. Then we have F minor, which is a full step to the F minor. And then we have a full step to G, but in this case, always on the seventh step, it's a minor. On the sixth step is a minor, but on the seventh step is always a diminished, so it's G diminished. Okay, so there we got them. Now, last week we were talking and doing this kind of a thing. Okay, so now, this week we're going to carry on with that. And we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have to pull out that piece of paper that's got all those little lines on it, called a score sheet. And we're going to put our notation down on the C clef for this. Everything this way is C clef, everything that way is treble clef. So we're playing A flat, because things are getting confusing now. So if we want to save those things, it's not getting confusing to us playing it, it's getting confusing to how to write it down, how to make sure somebody else can follow us in all this. Well, it's so simple. We have an A flat, or we have a flat, a C, and an E flat. And we put those in the treble clef. Now this is middle C. So we have the A flat, the C is middle C, and then we have the E, which is up 1, 2, showing E flat. So when you're doing that, you're going to show C with a line through it, then you're going to show D with a line below it, and then you'll go to E flat. This would be for the A chord. So we would have E flat. And how would that be? That would be on the line, see? Okay. Now we just go up the scale. In other words, we want to write, instead of A chord, we want to write A flat chord, we want to write the actual notes on the C clef. So you would go A, C, and E. But you've gone past on the C clef, you've got the lines where a middle C is one step above the last note, which is on that scorecard, on the score. So you're going to have C, D, and E that are the ones coming up above. Okay, and since you're playing this above middle C with these notes, you're going to be playing these notes on the above side. Either that or you invert them, and then everything is below. See, it all depends on what you want to do for sound. So if it's below, you just go ahead and write down where the notes go on the score. So now we looked at the notes on the treble clef for just a little bit. You probably never even learned them as far as spending some time on and learning them, or maybe you did. Okay, so now on the C clef, I think I had also the little diagram there that showed you all the notes for the C clef, which is your bass clef. Okay, so in order for somebody else to follow you, because if you're playing this way, just think about it for a minute. Okay, if you're going to show that, how every note is being played, how are you going to do that? By just using a chord symbol. You can't do that. But for you playing, it's in your head that way. But to show somebody else, you're going to have to write it the way they would write it after years of learning to do all this stuff. So if you write a song, remember I talked about the dots? The easiest thing to do is to do dots, because you can do it faster and then go back later with a cup of coffee at a desk or something and fill in the notes, you know. So you've got A flat, so you could just put down A flat, C, and E. Then you've got G, C, E flat. You've got F sharp, C, E, and you've got F, C, E, okay? So, but see how we're playing this? Okay? You're playing 3 notes. In other words, so you would have the chord, those 3 notes written, and then 1 note, 1 note, 1 note, and then down here, the same way. Just keep doing it. In other words, every time you hit, you're going to have to show a note there, see? Okay? So, but in your perspective, it's A flat, and you're just doing things with it. So you write down the A flat, and you do whatever you want to do. But when it comes to actually writing it down, if you wanted to, you could write it down, but it gets even more confusing because you have A flat. Now you have an A flat 7th, but you're not playing the A flat anymore. You've lifted that up because it sounds better. Okay? And now you've got A flat 7th, but still you're not playing the A flat. Then you got A flat 6, but still you're not playing the A flat, see? Because you want to give it that distance. Now, if you were playing an organ, who cares? Because when you get all those unison, but on piano, we need to write down each individual note as they go. And even on the organ also, but most people when they're playing an organ instrument, they're more likely to just go with the chords only. So if you're doing just the chords only now, I'm just going to say this so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here's an A flat, okay? Now what is this? Just look at that, what is that? Okay, let's reference to C. Let's throw this up here. Oh, it's a C minor, okay. So we have, that's a C minor. What's this? Okay. Now that's a real cookie, because if you come up here this way, what is that? What the heck is that? Okay, it looks like it's very simple when you look at it, but it takes a minute. It's a C diminished. So we've got A flat, we've got C minor, we've got C diminished. Okay, now we're going to go to this with an F. So what's that? Okay, you've got 3 notes that are familiar in looks. It's not a C diminished. What is it? It's actually an A flat 7, A flat 6. Okay. So we've got back to the A flat 6, except we're just not playing that. We're not playing the root. See, we never were in the first place. Because when we're playing close together, it didn't sound good. See? Okay. So, like I said, if you're wanting to save this, you're going to have to take your cell phone, put it up here above your keyboard somewhere, and just turn it on once you get used to playing it, and just I'm going to go up to the second part of that. But I covered that last week, remember? Now, we can maybe go to, what about F minor? Oh, F minor. Okay, now we could go to another part of that chord, which is we're already playing two of the notes. And that's for D flat. We're already playing two of the notes right here. Okay. Now, what we're doing when we're going downward and upward, we're just playing parts of this A flat chord. But to write them as, like I was saying, okay? It's easier to write those down so that you remember them and how you're playing them, because you're actually doing rhythm. So there what I did was a progression of A flat, B flat minor, to F minor. And what did I do next? I went to D flat, and up to E flat. Or this way. Okay. And all I did up here is I just hit an A flat with my little finger just to end it as a nice little way to go. And end the song. Okay, so this week I want you to just start getting real familiar with everything. In other words, if we drop to an E here, okay, I just played the same progression that I had talked about before. and I went up here and just played notes that would go along with that. In other words, when I went from the A flat to actually this here, and what I did is I went from, I can't play this one on top of that. A little too much discord. So in other words, this would be one of those ones where you can't hit. But they almost hit all those, huh? So on an A flat, for instance, you can actually almost do the whole thing. But this is the one that doesn't sound good, see? Okay, but you didn't catch it because I didn't stay on it that long. So in other words, you could do this. Here I'm just adding the seventh. Because what you're doing down here, this is the major seventh, the regular seventh, and this is the sixth. See? And remember, if you really want to know what you're doing there, you can always go to the C chord. In other words, when you raise it up here, that's a sixth. When you come down here, that's an augmented. Okay? So if you're up here, that's a sixth. And the augmented is here. See? You follow what I'm saying? So, here's an A flat augmented. Okay? There's an A flat sixth. There's an A flat seventh. And there's an A flat major seventh. And this is back to A flat again, see? You see what I just did? A flat. Okay? This is a sixth. If you're coming down, this is a major seventh, this is the regular seventh, and this is a sixth, just like on a C chord. Major seventh, regular seventh, and a sixth. Same thing, okay? But we're playing with harmonics, and we're getting pretty good at it at this point. I'm sure you realize that you're getting pretty good at it. And so, to keep it simple, now we're going to revert back. If we want to put it on a piece of paper, we're going to have to write these locations on a scorecard, on a score, if you want to hang on to it. If you don't and you want to memorize the song, you can memorize the song and you can play it from now until right before you put in the casket. And you can let others figure out how to write that. Because believe me, they do. There's programs. You just simply put your music in there, you play it, and it pumps out the chords for you.